presuppositional, sometimes they'll use a phrase like that there's no neutrality, no neutral ground, meaning when you're talking to unbelievers, they are assuming things that are anti-Christian, that are actually hostile to God, namely that the laws of logic and the laws of science and moral laws are independent of God. They don't depend upon the Christian God. Well, the Bible teaches obviously that they do, and so you'll hear atheists say, well, the Bible is unscientific, or it defies logical laws, it has contradictions in it, as if laws of contradiction exist independent of God, or as if laws of science, physics, exist apart from what the Bible teaches about God. And so there isn't a neutral territory where we can kind of come together and agree that, okay, laws of logic exist, laws of science exist independent of God, and so we're going to debate it out there. There's no neutral territory. There's no neutral ground. It's their worldview assumes a science that's not, false science falsely so called, that it's science that's independent of God, logic that is independent of God, morality that's independent of God. It's like if they say, well, the Bible is irrational or it has contradictions. It's like, well, you could sort of challenge them with, why do you think that everything has to be rational? And where do laws of logic come from if they don't come from the Christian God? Do they just exist independently out there somewhere? Because that's what they want to assume. We can't let them assume anything. We have to let them see that laws of logic are not independent of the Christian God. They depend upon Him, just like laws of science. When they say the Bible is unscientific, well, if what the Bible teaches is true, then that allows for how uniformities can exist in nature, laws can exist in nature. But if what they're saying is true, that laws of logic or laws of science exist without the Christian God, they're just the nature of things, the way that they are, then there's no guarantee that the nature of things won't change in the next 5 minutes. With Christian worldview, we know that nature isn't going to change because God has told us things that are going to happen in the world through prophecies, and so He keeps His word, so these things are going to continue. Or if they say the Bible is immoral, it teaches immoral things. It's like, well, again, where do you get the idea of morality if you don't get it from what the Bible teaches about the objective fact of right and wrong that exists because God exists? Otherwise, again, like we said in the moral law part, they're just saying, I don't like it, and so therefore it's wrong. And so don't grant them anything. Don't grant them any neutrality, because there is none when they're opposing God. All of their worldview, all of their reasoning is antagonistic to the Christian faith, whether they're trying to be reasonable or not. They're trying to be reasonable apart from the Christian God. And what we're saying is there is no reason that exists apart from the Christian God. This is His world. These are His facts. We are His creatures. And so don't permit their rebellion against that God. All right?